Hey there, hey ladies, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying this mini series that I'm putting together. So great, you're right. You made the decision. You've taken, you started to take radical self-responsibility. You're working on consistency now, which is obviously going to be something that you have to do every day. And yet, if you're still asking yourself, why am I not where I want to be yet? Let me tell you why. Okay, and this one may sting a bit. If you have set a goal, if you have a dream, if you have a desire, and you've been working on it a while, and you are frustrated because you have not achieved this thing yet, right? It's probably because you're not all in. It's probably because you've been dabbling instead of doing. I know this one's gonna sting. Welcome to episode 4 of the Laws of Iconic Leadership. It's a mini series that I'm putting together to really support women around them becoming unapologetic and unstoppable when it comes to living their best life. And today we are going to draw the line in the sand. All right, ladies? So you don't have a capacity problem. You don't have a strategy problem. You have a commitment problem. Okay. You are half in, you show up, but you're not fully there, right? You do the work, but you're not freaking locked in. You say you want the thing, but you're still negotiating with fear. And as long as you stay in that energy, ladies, you will stay exactly where you're at. So I need you to start to understand that you're not where you're at because of you and your half-ass energy. Okay. So you think effort equals results. Okay. A lot of women put this like hustle badge of honor, grind it out, work, 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 do more, more, more. And because you think that the more I do, the more results I'll get. But it doesn't always work like that. Standards do. Okay. So I get it. You're doing a lot, right? You're in business. You're probably posting, you're planning, you're thinking, you're adjusting. If you're like me, you're coaching, you're running a team, right? You're also a mom. Like you're doing all the things, but you're still hesitating before you move. You still probably second guess after you decide. Maybe you get started, but then pull back the moment things get uncomfortable. And that's not commitment. That's kind of like testing the waters. Have you ever went to like a pool and you first go and you see how cold it is, or a lake or something like that? I used to live on the lake, and I would always like dip my toe. I would hang my leg off the boat and I would dip my toe in the water, and I'm like, oof, too cold, not doing that. There's a reason why kids just fucking jump in, right? Because when we feel that cold water, we're like, no, not for me. Okay. And that's kind of how women are operating their life and their business right now, is they're putting the toe in. They're like, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable. I kind of don't know if I'm going to like be able to be okay. So I'm just not going to do it. And I'm telling you, ladies, you cannot create an extraordinary life with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. That is one of the biggest, mindset problems that so many women have. They think they're doing all the things, but I'm like, you're actually doing a lot of things, but none of them are getting you results. And you keep doing that every single day. And that is the definition of insanity. So I'm like, why are you still doing the things that you're doing every single day if it's not getting you the result that you want? Okay. Or they're doing all the wrong things because subconsciously they're afraid of success or they're afraid of failure. So it's a weird way of self-betrayal, self-sabotage. Okay. But I find that so many women, when it comes to achieving their goals and dreams, whether it's business, personal or professional, they're half in, half out. They allow distractions to get in their way. They allow life's hiccups to get in the way, and they stop. And this half in energy is very expensive. Okay. When you are playing half in, it slows your income down, it dilutes your message, it weakens your leadership, and people feel it. Your clients feel it. Your audience feels it online. You feel it because deep down, you know you've been holding yourself back. And the longer you operate like this, the more frustrating it becomes because you're not working. Or I'm sorry, because you are working so much, but not really expanding, not really growing. That's why it's so frustrating, especially with ambitious women, because we're like so freaking smart. I'm like, how can I start a business and create $1 million brand and then not figure out this like little thing over here in my personal life? Right? It's very, very frustrating. But then we always have to ask ourselves, am I really being like all in? Am I being all in? Am I jumping, full force? Because I'm telling you, if you're trying to start a business or if you're trying to grow or scale a company, you got to be all in. It's kind of like giving birth. You can't be halfway in and halfway out and be like, you know what? I don't really want this. I don't want to do this birth thing. Okay. You're in it. You got to finish it out. Okay. So I lived this so many times. And I have also very, much lived the opposite. So there was a season in my business where everything exploded. I'm talking massive expansion, right? Growth, clients, money, visibility, and yet people kept asking what I was doing so differently. I mean, I went from 3 to 5K consistent months to $100,000 weeks, consistent $50,000 months. Like I became so consistent with my growth, with my clients, with my money, with my visibility, and all while, being in the best shape of my life and spending time with my kids and my husband and like all of the things. And they're like, what are you doing that is allowing you to grow your company at such a rapid pace? They were literally like, Crystal, what are you selling? They would be sending me in the DMs like, what the fuck? You just celebrated a $37,000 day. You just celebrated a $176,000 week. You just celebrated, a $10,000 sale before 7 a.m. Like, what the fuck? They wanted to know what I was doing so differently. And I'll be honest, and you can ask my marketing director this. I was spending right after people started really reaching out. I mean, podcast companies were like, "This is crazy. We've been, we want to interview you. We want you to tell, like, spill the beans, right?" And I started like sending these DMs that were, they started out with like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and my marketing director was like, "Carissa, you are spending the majority of your day responding to DMs via voice note, because that's like how I like to roll most of the time, especially when I really get going on a topic that I'm passionate about." She's like, "You're spending so much of your day and your time telling everyone what you're doing." She's like, "First of all, stop. Okay. You hired me to be your marketing gal. Like, let me do that. And why don't you start figuring, like, why don't you put this into a course? Why don't you like start teaching this, because clearly everyone wants to know how you become part of the 1% of the population for women entrepreneurs who are actually fucking killing it." And I was like, "Girl, you right." Okay. And because the answer was consistent with all of those Facebook DMs, guys, and the answer was always, "Oh, yeah, I'm just an all in kind of woman." It's like a rule that I live by. I am all in. And for me, all in means not sometimes, not when it feels good, always. I'm an all in kind of woman. That is a mindset. And it didn't start in business. That mindset was built when I was a little girl in gymnastics. Because if you have ever been a gymnast or if you know a little gymnast girl, right? Even if you watch the Olympics, I don't care, right? Your brain is probably like, "Oh God, I hope she doesn't get hurt." Well, as a gymnast, I learned that you have to be all in because all it takes is one moment of hesitation and you fall. Your hand slips, you get hurt, you lose control, you get seriously injured. And that lesson stayed with me. That mindset stayed with me. And I'm telling you, ladies, you cannot create powerful results with divided focus. Okay. So if you're feeling scattered all the time, scatterbrained, right? Check to see what your calendar is like. What are you really focused in on? If your business really isn't making a lot of money, like what is it? Do you have too many offers? What is it? You cannot create powerful results with divided focus. I say that again. Okay. So let me make this very real for you. Let's just pretend that you are hosting a picnic. It's like a party for your child, and you're going to have like 30 to 40 kids, and it's going to be nice and warm. And you ask three of your girlfriends to bring a watermelon to the party. You're like, "Girl, we really need watermelon." So friend number one shows up late with a bunch of excuses, right? She's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't have a chance to cut it, but here's the watermelon, right? I got behind, the kids were sick, my husband, blah, 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 blah," right? She shows up with a whole watermelon uneven cut at the picnic. And you're like, "Bitch, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?" Right? Like, I don't bring a knife. Okay. Your second friend, let's just say friend number two shows up. She's on time. She did what's expected. She took the watermelon, she cut it into triangles, she put it on a tray, and she showed up on time. She's very, very reliable. But then we all have that one friend, right? The one friend that always goes above and beyond. And if you don't have one of those friends, then you really need to, like, I don't know, I'm just not going to go into that. Okay. So we all have the one friend, right? Where she maybe shows up to the party with a beautiful tray of perfectly portioned melon balled watermelon on a skewer because she knows that the kids and their grimy little fingers are going to come and want to like pick a skewer and take and go and run with it, right? So she just doesn't know how to be anything else than all in. And that one, she's prepared, she's thoughtful, she was intentional. And she doesn't show up like that to impress. I mean, these are your girlfriends, for instance. Like, I don't have to impress my friends. And if I do, then I got the wrong fucking friends. Okay. So this woman, this third friend, she doesn't do it to impress you. She does it because this is who she is. Okay. She has standards. She's all in. She's on time. She's like, girl, do you need anything else? No? Okay, good. Then I can just enjoy the party. Like, we all have probably those three types of friends: late and reactive, never really on time. Maybe it's even a family member. We all have the friend who's going to show up right on time. She's very responsible. And we all have that one like above and beyond. And this is not like like when you're on like a Zoom or like someone keeps like one-upping somebody. Like, I'm not talking about that. That's annoying. That's like cringy, right? But that third woman, that is an alpha queen. That is part of an alpha queen identity. And guys, the difference isn't effort, it's a standard, right? This woman has a standard. She shows up. She's not going to make excuses. She's going to do what she wants to do. And she's probably thinking, if I ask my girlfriend to show up to a party with 50 running around kids, how would I, like she just doesn't even think anything different. She has a higher level of standard for herself and for the life that she's living. So this entire mini series, guys, I tell you this because I have been all three of those women, right? Late and reactive and always like undependable, really. I've been the woman in my corporate days where I was very responsible. If I said it, I was going to do it. And then I've evolved into the woman who has very high standards for people she works with, for clients that she has, and for herself and her family. I have high standards, and that doesn't make me a bougie bitch. I have high standards for my body, for my life, for my business, for my bank account, for my love life. Like, I have standards that I uphold. Okay. Values. Yeah. Integrity, right? Like all of these things, standards. Okay. So this entire mini series is, of course, inspired by my book. It's called Unapologetic: The 10 Universal Laws of Iconic Leadership. And this particular show, this episode, really does come down to the law of determination, which is law number 4. So when we think about what we want to achieve, our goals and dreams, it's because you're not determined, right? You're playing half in, half out. Where I am an all in kind of woman and I am very determined. Whatever I set my sight on, I'm going to get. I am not stopping until I do. And I'm not going to do it at the cost of like my health and my relationship and my marriage and my business. There's a big difference, right? So, this is what I call the universal law of determination. And inside this law, inside the chapter, inside my course, inside the things that I teach my clients, I teach them how to create an all in mentality. Because determination isn't loud, ladies. It's the quiet refusal to stop abandoning yourself. It's the decision that says, I don't stop. I don't negotiate. I don't go halfway. If I said I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. It's a decision. And this is where identity truly starts to lock in, because an iconic woman, the best version of you, whatever you want to call her, I call her an iconic woman. They don't try, they commit, right? My clients know if I say I'm going to do something, they're like, oh, she's going to do it. Sometimes I think that they tell me things that they want to do at like our retreats and things because they know I will go find a way to do it. Like it's just who I be. I don't dabble, I commit. All right. And here's what most women are getting wrong. They think they just need to push harder. No, 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 sis. This isn't about more effort. It's about being fully committed, because you can work harder and still not be all in. You can do more and still hesitate. But the real shift here is becoming unavailable for anything less than your standard. And right now, you're still entertaining the option to quit. Right? You want to start a business, you're still entertaining the like, maybe I should just go back to corporate. You're trying to lose weight, but you're still entertaining the fact that you want to go out to McDonald's or whatever. Okay. So that is the gap between where you are and where you want to go, is full commitment, all in. Because when you become a woman who's all in, you become unstoppable. You become determined, like a force of nature. No one questions me when I say I'm going to do something, and that makes me feel good. This is why I created what I call the all in mentality tool. Because going all in isn't a feeling, ladies, it's a recalibration. And inside this tool, because when we think about it, right, like how do I create an all in mentality? This is like what I teach my clients how to do because they need to become all in women, right? If they want to reach $1 million in the business, if they want to have a $10,000 month, wherever it is that they're at in their business, they have to be an all in kind of woman. And not just in their marketing department, but also in their sales department and also in their, branding department, like whatever it is. If they want to achieve a goal, they know they have to be all in. So in order to do that, I have to teach them how to recalibrate and reprogram their mindset. So inside of, the book, and I have a PDF and a tool that I give to any woman who is seriously freaking interested in becoming an all-in woman. And it's a free PDF, y'all. You can get your hands on it. I would suggest you buy the book or invest in the course or you just come and freaking work with me as your coach. But at the end of the day, building an all-in mindset is going to come down to your self-belief system, your self-talk, and your self-trust. All of those three ingredients are going to create an unwavering, unstoppable woman. Okay, you're not going to be dabbling anymore. You will start leading your life like you want it. Okay, and you can, of course, access the tool and the training either inside my book. You can grab it in my free PDFs over in the Alpha Queens Rising department. It's my free community that I created for women who are done playing at the level of mediocre. Or you can simply book a private call with me. But promise me this, do not stay where you're at, right? Because your dreams, you're worthy of them. You're capable of them. So stop dabbling. Okay. All right. I believe in you. I know you can do it. You already know what all in looks like for you. You felt it while probably listening. The question is are you finally going to choose it? It's a decision. Or keep playing halfway. Because iconic women, they don't dabble, they decide and they don't stop. All right. All right, ladies. Tomorrow we'll be diving into one of my favorite topics. In fact, this is the topic that I am known for, that so many hundreds of women come to work with me because when we do the thing that I'm about to talk about tomorrow, massive expansion, both personally and professionally. So stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Alpha Queen Collective. Come over on my other socials. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Or you can, of course, subscribe to our incredible Alpha Queen Insider newsletter. There are so many ways that you can get your hands on more tools, more resources, or on my calendar. It's not even funny. So I will see you tomorrow, ladies, for Universal Law number 5. All right. Bye for now.